Hi, I'm 79 years old now, and there's something I've been sitting with most of my life. It didn't feel important at the time. That's the strange part. You don't recognize the moment that will stay with you forever when you're living inside it.
You think you have time. You think there will be another evening, another conversation, another chance to say things the right way. I thought that too. For 39 years, I believed I was doing what a husband was supposed to do. I stayed, I worked, I provided. I didn't leave when things got difficult. I thought that was love. But near the end of my wife's life, she said something to me I never answered. Not because I didn't hear it, but because I didn't know how. And now there's no one left to answer it to. It's a quiet thing, realizing that the most important words in your life came at a time when you could no longer change anything. Her name was Ellen. I met her when I was 26. She was standing outside a grocery store with a paper bag that had split at the bottom. Apples had rolled across the pavement. I remember bending down to help her pick them up. She laughed, not embarrassed, just surprised. That was the first thing I noticed about her. She didn't hold on to small frustrations. She let things pass through her. We talked for maybe 5 minutes that day. Nothing important. Weather, work, the kind of conversation you forget. Except I didn't forget it.
I saw her again a week later, then again, and eventually there was no version of my week that didn't include her. We got married 2 years later. Looking back now, those early years feel softer than anything that came after. Not easier, just more present. We lived in a small apartment with thin walls. You could hear the neighbors arguing at night. Ellen used to make coffee early in the morning before I left for work. She would sit at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around the mug, looking out the window like she was waiting for something. I never asked what she was thinking about. I assumed it was nothing. That's something I did often, assume. I worked at a distribution center back then. Long hours, repetitive work, the kind that drains you in a quiet way. By the time I got home, I wasn't in the mood for much. Ellen would try to talk sometimes, not about anything urgent, just her day, things she noticed, people she met, small things. And I would listen, but not really. My mind was somewhere else, still at work, still tired, still thinking about the next day. I told myself that was normal. That's what life looks like when you're building something. You sacrifice the small moments for the bigger picture. That's what I believed. When we had our first child, a daughter named Grace, everything shifted, or at least it should have. Ellen was patient in a way I never quite understood. She could sit with Grace for hours, doing nothing in particular, and somehow make it feel meaningful. I didn't have that in me. I measured my days differently. Hours worked, money earned, problems solved. I thought that was how you took care of a family. Ellen never argued with me about it. That's something I used to be proud of. We didn't fight much, no shouting, no doors slammed, just quiet understanding, or at least that's how it looked from my side. There were moments, though, small ones, that I remember differently now. She would suggest we go somewhere, a short trip, a walk in the evening, even just sitting outside after dinner. And I would say, maybe this weekend, or I'm tired tonight. Always reasonable, always calm, and always later. Later became a habit. It felt harmless, responsible even. You don't think of later as something that takes things away. You think of it as something that protects your time. But over the years, I started noticing something. Not at all, gradually. She stopped asking. Not completely, just less often. Then even less, until the suggestions disappeared entirely. At the time, I didn't question it. I thought it meant we were settled, comfortable, that we didn't need those things anymore. That's what long marriages become, I told myself. Steady, predictable, quiet. I didn't realize that quiet can mean two very different things. There's a quiet that feels peaceful, and there's a quiet that comes from things no longer being said. I didn't know which one we had, or maybe I didn't want to know. Years passed like that. Work, home, dinner, television, sleep, weekends that looked like every other weekend. We didn't drift apart in any obvious way. We just stopped moving toward each other. And when that happens slowly enough, it doesn't feel like loss. It just feels like life. By the time I reached my late 50s, I had what I thought was a successful life. A stable job, a paid-off house, a family that stayed together. No major failures, no major regrets. At least, none that I could see. Ellen was still there, still kind, still patient, but there was something in her I couldn't quite read anymore. Something quieter than before, less expectant. I didn't ask about it. That was another habit. If something wasn't clearly broken, I left it alone. It felt like the right thing to do, not to stir up problems where there weren't any. I didn't understand that sometimes silence is the problem, and by the time you recognize it, it has already settled into something permanent.
That didn't change in any dramatic way. That's what makes it harder to explain. Nothing fell apart, nothing broke. We just kept living the same way we always had. Until one day, time started to feel different. Ellen got sick when she was 71. At first, it was small things, fatigue, a kind of tiredness that didn't go away with rest. Then came the appointments, tests, waiting rooms that all started to look the same. The diagnosis came on a quiet afternoon. The doctor spoke carefully, like people do when the words carry weight. Pancreatic cancer, advanced. There wasn't much time. I remember nodding, like I understood what he was saying. But I didn't, not really, because when you've spent your whole life believing there will always be more time, it's hard to accept when someone tells you there isn't. We went home that day and sat in the living room. No television, no distractions, just the two of us. That alone felt unusual. We had spent so many years side by side,
without really sitting together like that. Ellen looked around the room for a while. Then she said, very quietly, "We spent a lot of years here." I said yes. That's all I said. There were probably 100 things I could have said in that moment, but I chose the simplest one. That was my pattern. Keep things easy. Keep things calm. Don't make anything heavier than it needs to be. But some moments are already heavy, and avoiding them doesn't make them lighter. It just leaves them unfinished. The weeks that followed were different, not louder, not emotional in the way people expect, just more honest. Ellen started saying things she had never said before. Not accusations, not complaints, just truths, the kind that come out when there's no reason left to hold them back. She told me about the evenings she sat across from me, wanting to talk and deciding not to. She told me about the times she suggested we go somewhere, and how after a while she stopped suggesting anything at all. Not because she didn't care, but because she didn't want to feel like she was asking for something that didn't matter. I listened, really listened, for the first time in years, and what I heard wasn't anger, it was distance, a distance that had grown slowly, quietly, over decades. One night, about a month before she passed, we were sitting in the bedroom. The light was low. She was weaker by then. Speaking took more effort, but she still spoke carefully, like she wanted to get it right. She looked at me for a long time before saying anything. Then she said, "We were good at staying, weren't we?" I nodded, because that part was true. We stayed, through everything, through years that looked the same, through routines that never changed, through a life that never broke apart. But then she said something else, something I didn't answer, something I still haven't answered. We stayed, but we didn't always show up. I remember feeling something shift inside me when she said that. Not suddenly, not like a realization you can hold on to, more like something settling into place, something that had been there all along, just out of view. I wanted to respond. I wanted to tell her that I had tried, that I had done what I thought was right, that I had been there. But even as those thoughts formed, they didn't feel complete, because being there isn't the same as being present, and I think, deep down, I knew that. She didn't say it with blame. That's what made it harder. If she had been angry, I might have defended myself. If she had raised her voice, I might have pushed back. But she didn't. She just said it and let it sit between us, the way truth does when it doesn't need anything else added to it. After that, we didn't talk much, not because there was nothing left to say, but because some things, once spoken, don't need to be repeated. She passed away early one morning, quietly. The house felt different immediately, not louder, not emptier in an obvious way, just final. That's the only word I can use for it, final. In the days that followed, people came by. They said the usual things. She was a good woman. You had a long marriage. You were lucky. And I nodded, because those things were true.
But there was another truth sitting underneath all of it, one that no one else could see. We had 39 years together, and I spent most of them believing that staying was enough, that not doing anything wrong meant I was doing things right, that silence was peace, that later was safe. Now at 79, I spend a lot of time in the same house, the same rooms, the same chair. And sometimes I think about those small moments, the ones I dismissed, the ones I delayed, the ones I thought didn't matter. They're the only ones that come back now. Not the big events, not the milestones, just the quiet chances to be a little more present, a little more open, a little more willing. I don't think about what I should have done differently in some grand way. I think of simpler things, saying yes when she asked, listening without waiting for the conversation to end, sitting with her without needing a reason. Those were the things that mattered, and those were the things I kept putting off. If you're listening to me, I'm not here to tell you what kind of life to live. I don't have answers like that, but I do know this. Time doesn't take things from you all at once. It does it quietly, in moments you don't notice, in choices that feel small, in words you decide to say later, until one day there is no later, and all that's left are the things you didn't say. I have very little time ahead of me now. That's not something I say with fear, it's just the truth. And when I sit here, most days, I don't think about success or failure or anything like that. I think about conversations, the ones that happened and the ones that didn't. If this stayed with you for a moment, you can leave your thoughts, or not. It doesn't matter. Just don't let the quiet moments pass you by without noticing them, because those are the ones that stay, long after everything else is gone.